Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the middle-aged guys, and we bullshit about nothing. Well, usually nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
If you're a regular, consumer of media, entertainment media, nowadays, there's a lot of ways to go out of your way and do it. I don't want to sound like a cranky old man, but I can tell you, back in the early 80s, back in my day, you only had the channels 2 through 13 on your TV dial, the UHF channels. If you're one of those people who had parents who cared enough to go ahead and pay for cable, maybe you had for cable. And guess what? There was no digital radio channels either. I remember listening to a lot of early AM stations for music, not just for traffic, back in the day. But that, in this particular modern day and time and everything, there's entertainment all around you. You have it on your phones. Everything that's connected to the screen is going to go ahead. It's going to give you an avenue of entertainment. And because of that, people are watching things differently. Yeah. One of the companies that completely went out of their way and has benefited from that is Netflix. They started out as a reason to go ahead and close Blockbuster. All right, that's how they started out. Okay. And then they stepped into, oh, hey, look, we have this distribution. We can go ahead and we could start digitally distributing and streaming movies online. After that proved really big, they decided to say, hey, we can actually go ahead and make it so that if people, instead of asking publishing companies to go ahead and ask if we can stream their shit and license it out, we can just tell producers and publishers, just give it to us directly and we'll put it out there for you. And then they became pretty much media producers that started publishing things directly. Because of that, there's a lot of things that you can only find on Netflix that you can't find anyplace else. Why the fuck am I going into this long introduction? All right, we're going to talk about some IPs, some titles that have been announced over the last week that are coming to Netflix that we are pretty interested in, even if it's just in passing. The first one that was pretty interesting for everybody was that on the 7th, earlier this week, that would have been Tuesday, the initial trailer for Iron Fist, which is Marvel's brand new Netflix series, was dropped. I know we all had a chance to go ahead and see the trailer. Our thoughts may vary, but we're just going to go ahead and we're going to tell everybody our thoughts on it. So floor is open. Go ahead and take the mic away from me because I've already talked for long enough.
All right, look, it's pretty interesting that Netflix and Marvel, the way that they've, brought out a lot of stuff, starting with Daredevil, and then, Daredevil was really surprising to me. That sparked it all. So now, and shit, Luke Cage, again, Marvel and Netflix haven't steered us wrong as far as their live action stuff. So Iron Fist is going to be very, very interesting in order to tie into all of that, because it will, sooner or later, and that's what we got to look forward to. The trailer, yeah, it looks like a kind of a trailer to a beat 'em up game, kind of, but I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm looking forward to it because I want to see how and when everything is going to tie in, and we just see some maximum ass whooping.
Yep. What about you, Gray Mouse? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I saw the trailer, and I have to agree with what the theme said. It does look like a beat 'em up or just a karate movie. I'll just be upfront and honest here. I am not familiar too much with Iron Fist, so I actually have a unique point of view for this. I'm not coming as a fanboy like, oh my God, it's good. No, I'm more like reserved. I'm like, yeah, it looks like a good action movie, a good karate movie or kung fu or whatever it is. But I realized that it's growing to a bigger picture with the Defenders. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to how Marvel is going to be bringing, Luke Cage in there and all these other characters and that we know. So I'm looking forward to it, as not from a fanboy standpoint, but from a like you said, Reverend, interested in passing. It looks like something that I could get into.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get geeky about it, but I will admit that Iron Fist, basically, he showed up kind of as a byproduct of the Kung Fu era TV. All right, that he was the character itself is very 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 loosely based off of Kwai Jang Kane, who we know David Carradine went ahead and played in that series, and it was around that time where a lot of everybody in America was interested in the martial arts, whether it was karate or kung fu or something like that. If there was an Asian dude teaching a white man how to kick with his feet, people were flocking to it. Okay, and that's just how it was when that series started. This particular one right here, what's getting me excited about it, what has me excited about it, is that it's not the comic book itself, because admittedly, Iron Fist, he wasn't really a big player in the Marvel universe until around the first Civil War that came around. Because what happened with the first Civil War, when everything started splitting up to Team Cap and Team Iron Man, Team Iron Man ended up having not only himself but also Reed Richards and a whole bunch of other government-backed and wealthy players. So on Team Cap, not only did he need his own friends, but he needed friends with deep pockets, and that's where Danny Rand came in. Went ahead, they basically went ahead and they saddled up. All right, so we've got all these comic book billionaires now. I know Tony Stark's a billionaire, but I can't get Bruce Wayne because he's in a different universe. I can't do Oliver Queen because he's also in a different universe. Shit, I can't do Ted Kord. He's also in a different universe. So let's so let's go ahead and let's do Danny Rand. He's a billionaire. He's in our universe, but his name's Iron Fist. Isn't that close to Iron Man? I don't care. I just need a handful of money. That's what I need. All right, and that was pretty much how that worked out. But getting back to Netflix, like you guys said, Netflix so far hasn't stirred us wrong with any of the Marvel stuff. So I'm really interested to see what they have going on here. Yes, a lot of this looks like origins from other hero TV shows. A lot of people have been calling it, this is Marvel's version of Green Arrow, except instead of running around shooting people in the chest with a bow, he's hitting people with a magical punch. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, look, wherever you stand, all right, on your level of enthusiasm for this particular project that's coming up, I gotta say, you can't find any more badass of an origin for a superhero than the guy who literally got his powers for punching his fist into the heart of a dragon. And that's pretty much how his stuff went.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any other thoughts on that particular trailer or anything else?
Just bring it out. And have it, and don't fuck up anything. Well, okay, that's stretching it, because Marvel and Netflix together equals good shit. So I'm not. It's just. I mean, of course, it's every right to be skeptical, but they've delivered. Just bring it out and have us watch that shit. That's pretty much it.
They're not going to have an Iron Fist tournament or anything, are they?
No. We already seen how that ended up, and that is really a really horrible movie. Is how that ended up.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All I know is that as far as us waiting to see how this ends up, March 17th is going to be when all the episodes dump online for everybody who's a Netflix subscriber. I'm not going to go ahead and endorse it or shill them out, but I got to say it is a big reason to go ahead and have the service. All right. Speaking of which, though, there is actually another reason to have this service, especially for geeks like ourselves, all right, or fans of video games. Well, okay, with a little bit of trepidation and cautious outlook, today they announced that Netflix is actually going to be releasing an animated series this year, Part 1, Season 1, based off of the long-running video game series Castlevania. All right. This particular project is actually being headed off by, let's see here, Adi Shakar, who is a producer who's actually done quite a few films over the last few years. He did the 2012 make of Judge Dredd, The Gray, which has Liam Neeson. He's also done, I know that there was this one really gritty Power Rangers trailer clip that was put out like 2 years ago. He was behind that. And this particular project, according to the guys at IO9, is actually something that they've been working on for 12 years. So initially, I believe that there are rumors for a Castlevania TV show coming out. The first time that anybody heard anything about it, I think, was all the way back in like 2012.
Yep.
But the rumors never headed anywhere. And according to the folks at IO9, this is something that he's been working on for over a decade. And now Netflix, he's been able to go out of his way, sign up with Netflix for distribution and everything. And Netflix is going to have a Castlevania animated series. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Does Konami have anything to do with this?
Konami's label is still going to be on it, but creatively speaking, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see any pachinko machines in the backgrounds of any of these scenes?
Unless you could find a pachinko machine in 1479 Transylvania, I don't think so.
They'll try. But anyway, as long as it's not like True Blood or any bullshit like that, then I'm down. Now, this is a video game and it's adaptation, so we're allowed to be skeptical here because there's been rarely anything that has to do with video games that has gone to TV series or silver screen that has been an overwhelmingly success as far as capturing what we love about the game and putting it on TV show or big screen. Now, Castlevania, you have a shot. Now, as long as it's not motherfuckers just wearing just tight leather with whips saying, bad demons, bad vampires, bad, whipping them like that, then I'll be okay with it. Have some blood, have some guts, have some action scenes and stuff like that. Okay, separate yourself from Blade, but still, please be fucking good. Please be good. We all love fucking Castlevania. I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yep. What about you, Green Mouse? So what are your thoughts on it? I know you actually put a video out earlier. I haven't had a chance to see it, but what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, my first thoughts are fuck you, Konami. Secondly, as I'll be okay and on board with it as long as the captain in Simon Belmont is not in it. I'm just saying. That gay, dick-licking, oh, I'm scared of a bat, I got to go hide behind a wall, Simon Belmont. As long as he's not in that shit, I'm good to go. But seriously, I was actually shocked and surprised. I'm actually surprisingly looking forward to it now that I've sat and thought about it. I think that's the best way to go is animation, simply because I think that was a better way to capture the Castlevania atmosphere than a live action. You could do a lot more things in animation versus live action. And then, like the Reverend said, they've been working on it for a decade, which is impressive. And from what I understand too, is that season 1 is this year and season 2 is next year. So It seems like they've already got this planned out. And it will be they will be following the story of Simon Belmont, or the Belmonts rather, not particular Simon. So that would be very interesting to me. And like everybody said in the video before, is that Netflix have not really let us down in a really long time. Everything that's been adapted from Netflix have been spot on. And Netflix just can't do nothing wrong right now. I mean, look at all the stuff they've done. And so I'm actually really looking forward to it. At first, when I first did hear that news, I was very skeptical. Then I started to look into the things. Actually, another thing too is what's interesting is that the guy who did Adventure Time is on board with that. I think he's a writer, so that in itself will. I'm getting a lot more confidence in it now. And the director, I mean, he did do Judge Dredd, or Dredd rather. It wasn't such a bad movie. So, and The Gray, I think it was. What was it?
Yeah, The Gray with Liam Neeson. Actually, yeah. Judge Dredd is criminally underrated. The 2012 movie is really, really good.
So after I started looking at the initial part, I was like, oh my God, please no. Then I started looking at it and I was like, wait a minute. This has fucking potential.
I would love to have some battle scenes with the actual Castlevania music.
Well, in my other video, I would like to see like some of the boss characters or whatever.
Well, we're gonna see Medusa heads,
the giant bat, the Medusa, some of the staples of Castlevania.
One's gonna die from falling off a cliff.
The stone statues.
Oh no, they're gonna have that get hit, fall back bullshit.
No.
or after every fucking episode, you collect a fucking red orb,
or whatever. No, I mean, it's just so much potential that, like maybe that week's episode, you fight the giant vampire bat, then you go to the Grim Reaper or the Medusa or whatever.
If it follows the game that way, fine. But I think, we're going a little bit too far as far as the game adaptation and stuff like that and how much of the game we want to see in it. But
it's got to draw from the game, though.
But our point still stands. We want to see elements of the fucking games in
I want to see the whip.
I better not see a sparkling vampire.
I want to see the motherfucker shoot, use the whip and whip the candles and it disintegrates. And
what, is holy water gonna go through fucking
I don't know
to make sure it's real or not?
I mean, there's so much lore and so much stuff for that. I mean, you got what? You got 3 games. You got Castlevania 1, Simon's Quest, and Dracula's Curse. I mean, and the other one, Castlevania 4. There's plenty of literature and stuff to draw from. So he's been working on it for 10 years. Just bring it out. That's just my final thought. Just bring that fucker out.
According to the details and everything else that they have went ahead and squeezed out of it, and stuff that the producer Adi has actually shared on Twitter and Facebook and everything. The first season at least, is going to start out in the 1400s, and it's actually going to be based off of Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. So you're going to have Trevor, Alucard, Grant, and Sifa. They're all going to show up at some certain point. And actually, if you think about it chronologically speaking, Castlevania 3 actually happens. It's actually it happens actually like 80 years before the first Castlevania actually occurs. So he's starting from the very beginning. So he's got a lot to work with, a grand cast of characters and everything else. And according to him, it's rated R and violent as fuck. And he's saying that it's like a Game of Thrones and everything. I have a vision somehow, especially, just reading the vibe that I get from him off of his Facebook page and also Twitter and everything else, that I have a vibe that he's probably going to shoot for something like Vampire Hunter D from anime from the late 90s, early 2000s, which, okay, I'm not too adverse to, as long as, people have more human proportions than they did in Vampire Hunter D. All right. Yeah, but it's I am also cautiously optimistic on it. It looks like it should be something that is going to hold our interest and shouldn't offend my better sensibilities. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to put it.
The only thing that sucks, damn it, I would have loved Christopher Lee to play Dracula.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Well, as long as there's story and background for Alucard and Trevor, yeah, I think there's enough there to fill in, those characters. So like you said, I'm optimistic about.
Yeah.
Again, as long as I don't see any sparkly vampires in sunlight.
Yeah, I like with this particular one. I'm cautiously optimistic in it. If we're going by the track record of animation that's actually there on Netflix already, especially if they're going for something that's quote unquote rated R as fuck, I think this might be something that a lot of fans of the, not just a video game, but of the genre in general, is going to be entertained by. I am leaving room to be wrong because, again, like all of us said in this video, it is a video game adaptation, and hopefully if he has been working on it for 12 years with these guys, these professionals and everything, hopefully they do have something real. It's got to be something good enough to at least make Netflix go out of their way and say, hey, yeah, we're actually going to sign over. We're going to give you, 12, 13 episodes to go ahead and run the season.
What's really that in itself, what you just said, that's what kind of gives me confidence in it, is that they already are saying that there's going to be a second season. I mean, it's like, wow, like, are they that confident in the series that they will, Voltron, we didn't know there was going to be a second season until there was a second season.
Yeah. If it can come close to scratching anywhere near as, succeeding as well as Voltron has done, then I'll be very happy. And that's just the truth about it. All right. Was there anything else that we could add on to these two particular topics, gentlemen?
No, just bring it out. I'm very interested. Fuck Konami, and yeah. Damn, is it going to be difficult like the games? I mean, please do this right, because this will open the door for other video game stories to be done in a specific way in order to be done right. Please do this right so we can see more of this. Please.
Hopefully. Yeah, and with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this particular video out, folks. So what are your thoughts on the announcements for the upcoming Netflix shows? Iron Fist coming March 17th this year. We're just barely, a month away or something like that. Actually, a month and a week away. And then Castlevania, which is coming out later this year, still doesn't have an announced release date, but pay attention to this particular channel. When we find out more, and if and when they do release a trailer for it, we're definitely going to be saying something about it. You'll hear from us here. All right. Yeah, we are the middle-aged guys. We just been bullshitting about Netflix and doing a little history lesson with all sorts of shit from the 70s and 80s for like the last 20 minutes. Our bullshit all about that will end right here. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of, all forms of entertainment has the right to exist, even if you don't like it. Yeah. And once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and game, because that has to do with game credit.